So for those who are just tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning into Tough Love Giggles. The voice behind the mic is yours truly, the hype ladies, Miss ThandoAmy. Right about now, we're going to be hanging out with a group that's actually going to be telling us about the fundraising event that's coming up on October 16. Finally, we managed to get a hold of them, and thank God. But technology, my one, I hope it doesn't chop us off. I hope the network won't be so bad, but we got them. We got them. I am so grateful that I get to hang out with you right here on Tough Love Giggles. So right about now, we're going to be joined with the president of Junior Chamber International from Zimbabwe, based out of Kwekwe, leading a mental health project by mobilizing sanitary wear for underprivileged young women and girls in their town, and also their team of diverse talents. Guys, because you know what, I believe you can use your talent however way you can, and they also have poets, spoken word artists who seek attention in their guests. And so we're going to be hearing about the upcoming golf tournament from the president of Junior Chamber International, and his name is Conelious-MAKUVACHUMA. Thank you so much for finally, I know what is Zimbabwe. I know, it's okay. Thank you for coming through, Conelious.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda and Thando.
You're welcome.
It's been quite a long time trying to get hold of each other, but finally we are here.
I know, but I am so glad Kuti Murugita is such a good initiative, and you know what, I feel Kuti, it's something that needs to be addressed, and hopefully one day Zimbabwe will be able to afford to give young girls a free sanitary wear, because I think it's already started happening around Scotland, if I'm not mistaken, and we just hope Kuti in Zim it will happen, seeing our economy too is not so good.
Yes, we do hope are the same, but we really think those that are privileged, those that can have a surplus in terms of their incomes, and those that are privileged to have a better life, are letting these young girls and women down. So it's something that we really need to share and conscientize with our public, so that we know that we are all on the same boat. We are all Zimbabweans. We really need to look out for each other.
Right. Oh, that is so awesome. And, you know, I applaud you guys for that. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, okay, this guy is, how are you able to do that, especially in Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe, in a shayo, it's in a stress yayo. Yeah, right. And I'm thinking you guys come from a small town, and I know it's a mining town, which is a plus. But then at the same time, are you able to get the resources, you know, to be able to help with the projects that you guys do there?
Okay. Here's what's up. The project of mental health initially used to focus on issues to do with suicide, just to get these young kids their self-esteem raised, you know, things like that. But now we realize that Kwekwe being a rich mining town, there are big companies, big organizations that are making surplus. And also considering the sport of golf, you will see fundraisers being organized for causes that I think are less important than the issue of sanitary faith. So then we approach the golf club and say, now look at our population, look at our young girls and kids. We need to attend to this issue urgently, considering also that we have there are squatter camps there. There are squatter camps there where the livelihood is just not, the situation there is depressing. So they quickly bought into our proposal, and also we are working with a number of companies that came on board. One of them is PSI. PSI is an NGO that specializes on issues to do with hygiene in men. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we also have Kwekwe General Hospital. They are
Mhm.
also in our support. There is Dr. Mapanda, and there is Dr. Mapanda the male and Dr. Mapanda the female. This couple is helping us a lot.
Mhm.
Dr. Mapanda the female is the medical superintendent of Kwekwe General Hospital, and from the medical expertise, they're actually helping us with getting to mobilize these kids and getting to tell them the informational side of it, you know, puberty, menstrual cycle, and what have you. So we are also planning to have reusable sanitary pads. For now, we are just lobbying for these disposable ones.
Okay.
So we want this thing to be sustainable. So if we identify the number of tailors that we're going to work with to make reusable sanitary pads.
That is awesome. But to begin with, sorry, it was my bad. Just to tell our listeners what Junior Chamber International is all about in detail. Like, when did you establish your organization to say, you know what, we are going to go this way? Or is it a not-for-profit organization? What made you think of that? What made you think of that establishment and having to team up with so many people? Mind letting us know on that?
Thank you very much. Well, Junior Chamber International, JCI, is a leading global NGO. It specializes in leadership development in young people from the ages of 18 to 40. So our mission as JCI is to provide development opportunities to young people and to develop our communities in that process. So what happens is we have membership in a number of countries, having established, JCI having been established in 1915 in the USA. It grew into other countries with national organizations, that is at a country level. And then there are local organizations. These are chapters in each country. So JCI Kwekwe is one of the local organizations in Zimbabwe. So what happens is, for us to gain these development opportunities, we actually do the projects whereby we have structures and systems and the knowledge that we are given at our disposal to use to undertake this project. So you find that being young people, we have diverse talents. So we just look at the passions that we have and the areas that we think should be addressed in our communities. Me, myself, I'm a poet, and also I'm passionate. I'm really passionate about humanity. So you'd find that if I was someone else who was passionate about sport, I would be doing something in line with that. Hence, my team is, I would give diverse talents. Unfortunately, Gab is not here. I don't know what happened with technology, you know. But this is the background of what we are and how we thought of addressing this issue of mental health in young children, women. We did a survey and we discovered that some of these issues whereby we will see young girls being manipulated by artisanal minors, you know, they don't have the basics, just the basics. They would be, they are vulnerable to exploitation, sexual exploitation, just to get sanitary pads. You can imagine, just to get something that's basic as water, as food. So this is the background, and we also have the mayor's office supporting us. We work hand in hand with the mayor, the current mayor, Madame Titora, Honorable Madame Titora.
Shout out to you, Honorable Madame Titora, all the way from Amplified Radio. No, sorry about that. We had to break the ice. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, so that's the background. about the golf club, when we approached them, they also approached their sponsors, their seasonal sponsors, to come on board also, so that when the event will be happening, they will be advertising the brand of the companies that are sponsoring this event. We're looking at getting most of the proceeds to donations of sanitary pads.
Oh, nice. And have you had, so far, have you had positive responses back home? And yeah, positive responses. Let's start with that question. Yeah.
Yes, we have had positive responses from local companies. I think about 3 of them. I think from our projections of the funds that we are looking at gathering, we are on a bit of positive side. Things look okay so now, but we hope that we can get more members and more players on board so that we get surplus. Us as an NGO, we don't get funds from, we actually get funds from donations and these fundraisers. So we are also looking at beefing up our coffers also, so that when we say we want to go and check how the situation is like at those camps, we have something for transport and, you know, just to oil the ship as it floats.
That's quite interesting. And I also heard you mention about mental health, which is quite huge and something that took a while to be recognized, especially in Zimbabwe, because we grew up in our generation, not even just us, maybe even generations before, boomers. There's boomers, Gen X's, before we get to millennials, right? So boomers, Gen X's, millennials. I think millennials are the ones who kind of started with this whole understanding mental health, worse off with exposure, being out here and stuff like that. How then did you pick up the whole mental health aspect of it? Because in Zimbabwe, mental health used to think you're going cuckoos, right? But then mental health, you know what I mean? So how then did you pick up on that to say we need to support these people?
When we adopted this project, it sounded very personal to me. It still is. So I think I was once a victim of mental health at one time. Yes. So sometime last year, I had a lot on my table. So I had studies, I had work, I had stuff to attend to in my family. So it took me a while to realize that I was depressed, and that's why I was not delivering results until I got help, you know, networking with people, and we sat down and got to get to the bottom of how I was feeling and why I was not delivering. So
and not being looked as cuckoos.
Yes. At one time, one of my peers, when I told one of my peers, I wanted to come over to that event, and I want to travel with you guys. She just said, just look at the cost effectiveness of that side. But I knew, so it felt to me like she thought, since I had said I have issues with depression, so it sounded like I'm mentally ill. You know, so people accepting that you are coming out of your shell, you have this situation, they might treat you like you're mad and stuff. And then I actually told her, no, I understand the cost effectiveness of coming there rather than going straight to the event, but I just want to be with the company. And then, you know, I started realizing the plight of these young girls. Going back to our issue, the plight of these young girls, when they are not delivering in school, maybe they'll be bleeding and there's nothing to cover, you know. And also, Dr. Mapanda is a touching issue about this young girl when we went to donate the sanitary pads at this place. This young girl actually came out and said, you gave me this, how do I use it? Imagine. So my issue, my predicament, or my vision of mental health is quite different from these girls, but I understand when someone is not performing well, there's something that's going on in their minds. Not really that they are lunatic or something else. They are precious in Zimbabwe just to get through the day with the meals, and you need to travel from one place to another. You need to get things together. It's a hassle, and considering that these girls are in an environment with a lot of plethora of challenges. Here, being a mining town, it's bad. At one time there was violence. They if you recall the issue of this film, Blood Diamond, where matches are there, there are fights here and there and sports of violence that's has been happening in Kwekwe. So kids are scared. And just to sum up and getting that together, we realized that we needed to give the girl child feel comfortable. Akagara pari on a seat at Uchikoro. Then the other issues will be addressed later. So this is the end that we're coming for.
And I salute you for that. And definitely you're going to have to let us know how best we can help, especially out here in the diaspora, because we have a lot of listeners like I tell it. I like you, you know what? It's to how best we can help. I know, but at least there's still time. We have 15 days to go before the event, and we would like to help the best way we can, which is going to be at least my last question. But as you started this project, what are the successes that you've had and the challenges that you've had? Even challenges and the successes that we can celebrate together right here, right now. And if you don't mind sharing that.
Okay, I'll start with the successes. The successes, I would say, engaging the young people. You see that they've been in a shell because of COVID-19. All of us, we've been in a shell. So the very little time that we got to get out there, you would see we are staring inside them the positivity and the hope. That COVID-19 is going to end, and we're going also to meet and also to discuss these issues. I'm really positive no organization or no group of people had approached them before. And now we are discussing this issue, not in corridors, not under the benches. We are speaking about it publicly. And also, there is an opportunity to start my support groups about these issues also. And there are issues to do with our culture. We shouldn't talk about these things. It's taboo, Dad should not know the kid needs sanitary pads, this kind of issue. So we are unbundling something, something that has been, not being talked about for quite a long time. I think that's one major success we are happy about. And also, there are opportunities in the process of identifying talents in these kids. We want to start a poetry project. Based on poetry, those who can do poetry, they can come along. Those who can do sewing for that project of reusable, sustainable sanitary pads. These are the successes, and also getting the organizations together to talk about this. It's a huge success, and the mayor is happy about it. And our challenges, for a long time, we haven't been able to reach out to the stakeholders that we thought were going to come on board because of COVID-19. Kwekwe hit hard, I think, than any other town in Zimbabwe. When the Delta variant was discovered in Zimbabwe, it was first discovered in Kwekwe. So the restrictions were quite, it was bad. So the challenges also is one major piece of cash, liquid money to travel from one place to another, to communicate, bundles and Wi-Fi. It's hectic here in Zimbabwe. These kids to get to summon them and talk about these things, a little bit financed.
So for those who are wanting to come for the golf fundraising, how best can they do that in order for them to support you guys? Somebody on the ground. Set we are diaspora, how best they can help. How best can people in Zimbabwe come and help, seeing what we're still actually in the pandemic. The Delta variant is still alive, is real. So how best can they help, or do they necessarily need to come out for it? And Vasinga Kwanisubita come out for it. How best can they help?
Okay, we have options. For those that cannot come, there is an option of sponsoring. We've been sending out letters to people whom we have contact with. So if we get to identify those that want to help, we can forward to them our contact details, and maybe in terms of sanitary pads, if they want to donate in kind, what we really need sanitary pads, we can get them to buy there's a company called Far Right Pads in Zimbabwe.
Okay, yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yes. We are still in the process of engaging them to be our partners as well. So they can buy the sanitary pads, then the sanitary pads can come to us directly for provision. And they can also partner with us in sponsoring in cash or in any form of money. We have our treasurer, which is based in Harare, where we share the details, financial details, where they can put the monies to. That will channel to donations of sanitary pads.
Okay, and so with that being said, I believe you also mean Kuti. It also means Kuti we can still do the same up here in the diaspora, and so which definitely, if you promise me as soon as yesterday to send me those details, because it would be nice to do it just before the 16th for those that can, and then put most of it a collective all together, and by the 16th at least to have something.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we can have the details sent as soon as possible. What was another question again? Sorry.
Oh, so now the second question was, so definitely the diasporans can actually do the same, right? Because definitely we're going to need the details as soon as yesterday. Yes. We have 15 years, I am going to tell you, some people just got paid. So you better do it as soon as possible before Marita was ahead.
No, it's nothing.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about. I know what is the channel. Yes, it is actually about supporting our girl children back home. And for those who are actually tuning in right now, thank you so much for tuning into Tough Love Giggles. I'm actually chilling right here with Conelious-JCI, who's actually telling us about what JCI is all about and the event that's coming up, the golf event. It is fundraising for the girls who are underprivileged and cannot afford to get sanitary wear. And so right about now, he was saying he's going to be giving us details on how best we can help, be it Tiruku Zimbabwe, seeing that we're still in a pandemic, and then it's also very diaspora, we can still help, because hence the reason why we're actually talking with him here, because this radio caters to people out in the diaspora and back home. So how do you have any opportunities between now and the 16th to collaborate, and how do people connect with you guys?
To collaborate with our partners and stakeholders?
Yes, in regards to this event in specific.
Well, yes. Since the restrictions have been relaxed a bit, we can move physically.
Okay.
We have meetings with the golf club chair, I think a couple of times in a week.
Okay.
One way, yes, just to check on our progress and what we need to put in place. And also we have our meetings, our online meetings with the team that I work with.
Okay.
Pay the up team. We do periodic meetings as per need.
Okay. So how best can people connect with you if they want to collaborate or partner up for this event in specific?
For people who are in the diaspora or people who are locally, but we cannot meet physically, I think we can always get them to attend our meetings if they can. We can always schedule an event whereby they can get to look at what we have achieved, what we are doing, and if they want to input anything and what have you, we are open to that. We just need to know who wants to come on board, and we should.
Okay, so definitely I will push you for those details, but how can they join into your meetings? So other than just this project that you have going on for Pad Her Up, what other projects do you have coming up or do you have happening at the present moment?
Okay, we have prefects meeting, prefects training. This is it's a program. It's ongoing. It's ongoing every year, whereby we identify through schools in Kwekwe what are the skills that are needed to kids, to school-going kids. So since we are a leadership development organization, we go there and donate these skills to them. So we haven't been able to get an addition for this year due to COVID-19. And also we had effluent and refuse management for Kwekwe. Didn't do much also because of the restrictions. Yes, so these are the major projects. There are also mushrooming projects or programs that come up with our members. We really are open to ideas of our members to address issues that are affecting our community. For example, with the kids that we are working with, if we see the talent, if we see that they have a solution to a challenge that we have in the community, we can get a tool that we call the Active Citizen Framework, or whereby we do the needs analysis and get to adopt that idea for a project. It will be good to go.
I like that. That's a smart move. That is actually a smart move, because at the end of the day, you wanna work on projects that are actually in need within the community versus saying, but oh yeah, this is how I feel. It's not about you feeling something, but it's about the rest of the community and what their needs are. And I applaud you guys for that. So last but not least, before we say goodbye, are there any other needs as an organization that you guys have that you're with, other than just finances? How best can people help in anything that you're doing?
Okay, right now, if we look at our social media, we are trying to upgrade our visibility out there.
Okay.
So maybe just to share the project that we are posting out there, everything that we're doing, to share, so that we have the impact online. If someone gets to see what's happening, they will look for us and come to participate in our cause.
Nice.
So to amplify the impact.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that is exactly what we do right here on After 5 Radio, to tangira pano. So if you do not mind sharing all those social handles, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, any Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, do you mind giving us all those details before we sign off?
Facebook is the most prominent one, is JCI Kwekwe.
Okay.
And for other handles, we don't have Twitter, we don't have Instagram, but you can go check JCI Zimbabwe. That's Instagram. And JCI Zimbabwe, that's Twitter also. Okay,
definitely. We will do that. And please do send through all your details as we approach the date, really, so that we can share around as we go, right? Because and I'm sure a whole lot of people are willing to help, especially out here in the diaspora, and well, even back home, I know which a lot of people are willing to help. And it was so lovely hanging out with you. And it's right now we're 6 minutes over, and it was It was a pleasure hanging out with you, and thank you so much for letting us know about your organization, the events that you're hosting, and a whole lot more that you're actually working on, your inspiration towards all your projects. We truly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for hearing me on behalf of my organization.
No, you are so welcome. And please do not forget to my details. I know no one did, and I think you've said it.
Because
No,
because
I'm like, exactly. So it's always like on the go. And once I have them, at least it's still something that's heated on the table, and we can just send them out and then progress as we go. And also, if you're not on Clubhouse, I would definitely send you a link on how you can join Clubhouse. It is something that you want to be a part of, and where you get to link up with a whole lot of Zimbabweans as well that are, be it in the diaspora and back home, and you'll be able to share your information. And I know there are a lot of people there when my projects in our support back in Zimbabwe. So I will send you the details for that as well, that I feel, that might be useful to you. And yeah, and just come through and say your story, because I know how a lot of people would be willing to jump onto that wagon, because I know the sanitary wear is one of the most important things going on, especially right about now in the world. Saka Iowa, I know a lot of people will be willing to support on that.
Thank you so much. Please do not hesitate to share me that link.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I will. Thank you so much, Cornelius. It was a pleasure and an honor hanging out with you today.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Till next time. Take care and God bless you.